Aries has 4 planets in their sign for the first time in 36 years. Cancer's luckiest transit in 12 years just got activated, and Pisces, everything is changing. If these readings find you at the right time, subscribe. Stay for your sign. 4 planets are in your sign right now, and this kind of stacking hasn't happened in 36 years. The Sun, Saturn, Neptune, and Venus are all gathered in Aries, which means the universe isn't nudging you, it's restructuring you. Saturn demands you name what you're building and commit to it. Neptune layers vision on top of that structure so the goal actually means something. Venus is drawing people toward the new version of you before you finish becoming it. Mars, your ruler, is in Pisces making a tight trine to Jupiter, which backs any move you make from gut instinct this week. Mercury just went direct, all planets are forward, so restart what stalled and write down one clear identity claim. This is the week you stop circling and plant your flag. Uranus has been in your sign for 7 years, and it's now in the final degrees, which means the transformation you've been living through is approaching its close. This isn't a moment to push outward. It's a moment to sit with what's actually changed in you and be honest about it. Venus, your ruler, is moving through the hidden sector of your chart, so the desires you've been keeping quiet deserve attention, not suppression. Mercury just went direct, which unsticks social plans and conversations that went cold. The Sun is gently activating Uranus this week, so expect small but meaningful realizations. Write down one thing Uranus changed in you that you're keeping. Follow up on a social invitation you let slide, and let yourself want what you want without apologizing for it. Your ruler Mercury just went direct, and the fog you've been wading through for the past few weeks is lifting in real time. Not just clearing, actually opening, because Mercury is forming a trine to Jupiter that gets stronger as the week goes on, which means every idea you share and every conversation you start has an unusual amount of reach and resonance right now. The moon was in your sign as the week opened, giving you emotional confirmation that yes, this is your moment. The Aries energy activating your 11th house is crystallizing community connections and future visions you've been circling for weeks. Move on the message you've been drafting. Reach out to the collaborator you've been meaning to contact and say the thing you've been overthinking. Jupiter is in your sign, and this week, Mars is activating it with a trine so tight it won't be this exact again for months, which makes the first 48 hours of this week genuinely significant for any career move you've been considering. The Aries energy in your 10th house is pushing professional ambitions to the surface, and the moon sextile Neptune in your chart means your gut instinct is unusually accurate right now, so trust it. This is the luckiest transit you've had in 12 years, and it's being switched on like a light. Don't wait for the perfect moment to formalize something professionally. Send the pitch, schedule the conversation, put your name on the opportunity, and let Jupiter do the rest. Your ruler is clearing a runway, Leo. The Sun sits in Aries right now, your fellow fire, pouring full support into your 9th house of beliefs, expansion, and higher learning. But the Sun is tightly conjunct Saturn, which means the vision needs more than ambition. It needs a real plan. Neptune is there too, painting the dream vivid and enormous. What you do now is let that vision breathe, then build the structure underneath it. A course, a mentor, a philosophy that rewires how you see the world. That is the move. A quiet sextile to Pluto gives you negotiating power and authority you may not realize you carry. Use it. This is the week Leo's dream gets a deadline. And that's not a limitation, it's how it becomes real. The fog lifts, Virgo, and you feel it before any other sign does. Mercury, your ruler, was retrograde in Pisces, its sign of fall, the most disorienting placement it can hold. That ended, and the clarity returning to you is not gradual, it is immediate. A trine to Jupiter is applying, which means your ideas are not just returning, they are expanding into territory you could not reach before. Decisions that felt impossible 2 weeks ago are available now, so make them without second guessing. Your 10th house moon is lighting up career visibility at the same time, and that combination is rare. Show your work, share the project, present the pitch. The analytical precision that defines you has come home, and the world is ready to see it. Venus is asking you one hard question this week, Libra. Your ruler is in Aries, sitting directly opposite, and the entire Aries stellium, Sun, Saturn, Neptune, Venus, is stacked in your 7th house of partnerships. That is the most relationship-intensive configuration of the year. Saturn in the 7th asks whether your partnerships are becoming real commitments or revealing themselves as comfortable illusions. Venus in Aries wants bold, direct desire, and that impulse sits in tension with the diplomacy you reach for. The answer is not to choose one over the other, it is to say out loud what you actually want clearly and without softening it. Mercury, direct in your 6th house, also unsticks work you have been circling. But the real move this week is the one that scares you, not the one that's convenient. The tightest aspect in the sky right now belongs to your chart, Scorpio. Saturn and Pluto, your ruler, are in a sextile less than 1 degree apart, and that means transformation does not just arrive this week. It arrives with structural backing. What you build now is built to last. A water grand trine connecting Mars in Pisces, Jupiter in Cancer, and Pluto in Aquarius gives your emotional and creative instincts a channel that flows without resistance. Mercury direct in your 5th house clears whatever block was sitting on creative work or a connection you care about. The Aries stellium in your 6th house asks you to apply your intensity not to grand gestures, but to the daily systems you keep putting off. That consistency is where your power compounds. The universe just handed you a creative breakthrough, and it would be a shame to let it pass. Jupiter, your ruler, is sitting at full power right now, and Mars is feeding that energy directly, which means anything you've been building, imagining, or holding back creatively is ready to move. The fire in your 5th house is literal momentum for romance, self-expression, and joy. The catch is a conversation at home that keeps getting postponed. Mercury just went direct in your 4th house, so the words are there now. Finish the piece, send the pitch, tell the person how you actually feel. Build something you'll still be proud of in a year. The foundations of your life are shifting, and Saturn is right in the middle of it. Your ruler is conjunct the Sun, which means everything you've quietly built is being illuminated and tested at once. Neptune nearby is dissolving what no longer holds truth. That sounds hard, and it is. But Saturn is also forming a sextile with Pluto so close it's almost exact, and that aspect is pure rebuilding power. Whatever is crumbling in your private life, your living situation, the unspoken rules you've outgrown, this is when you renegotiate with full clarity. Mercury just went direct in your 3rd house, so start the conversation you've been rehearsing. What the light shows you this week is not the problem, it's the blueprint. Pluto has been rewriting your identity from the inside out, and this week it has structural backing that's almost unprecedented. Saturn is forming its tightest aspect in the entire sky, a near-exact sextile with Pluto in your sign, which means the transformation you've been living through is no longer just disruption, it's becoming permanent. The Sun is moving toward Pluto too, bringing everything evolving in you into visible expression. New ideas are arriving through your 3rd house with unusual force, so write them down and share them, not just think them. Uranus is in its final degrees of Taurus. So make one concrete decision about what that 7-year chapter taught you about self-worth. Then commit to who you're becoming, because this week it sticks. Mercury just went direct in your sign, and the static that's been distorting your thinking lifted for you more dramatically than anyone else. This is your moment to dive back into the creative or spiritual work you abandoned when everything felt unclear. Mars is also in Pisces right now, which is rare, giving you follow-through energy your sign doesn't always have. Point it at one specific thing, not scattered across possibilities. Neptune, your ruler, crossed into Aries after 14 years. So the era of dreaming from behind the veil is over. You're being asked to define who you are on your own terms now, without the mirror. Pick the project. Give it 3 focused days this week. The clarity is real, and so is the momentum. That's your weekly reading for March 23 through 29. Drop a comment with your sign and let me know how this week lands. Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a reading.